this is the Amber Air S100, and this is a basic mechanical 4-thread serger. So this will do 2-thread, 3-thread, and 4-thread serger stitches. Threading on this is manual, so what I mean is you will open it up and you will thread it yourself. There is some little nits and pieces in here, but they have made it very easy for us to get to those by opening this up. Everything is fully color-coded, and it includes a little diagram where you can follow the thread path. And I know from where you're sitting this looks a little busy because everything's kind of dark, but it is very open and the thread path is very clear to follow where it is going. The loopers are the part that intimidates most people. Threading the top part in the needles, that is very much just like threading a sewing machine. But the loopers can be a little intimidating, and I surely know myself, because back in the day I wanted a serger, and the idea of them really scared me once upon a time. But they really are amazing. But I want you to take a look at this. So like I said, there's color coding right here. This is red, so I'm just going to come follow the red path. So I'm going to come into the pre-tension, so it just snaps right into that little pre-tension, and I'm going to just drop it into the tension guide here. There is a hook right here. Use 2 hands to get that hooked in. There we go. And then we're just going to follow the red. There's a little red dot there, and there's just a large hook right there. And then there's a dot here, so I'm going to follow this path. There is a little thread guide there, and again, it's quite large, so it's easy to get a hold of. And then into the eye of the looper. This is your upper looper, and you always know the upper looper because he's the only one that comes up and over. The lower looper stays down below. So it's very easy to distinguish the upper looper from the lower looper. So we'll just grab this. And I know that it kind of looks like I'm working hard, but I am at an angle. But the eye of the looper is large. It's not like you're threading a needle. It is quite large that you can get in there. And that is all there is to threading that. Now let's go ahead and get the lower looper, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to snap it into the pre-tension, down into the tension, into this little hook. Yeah, this works. Okay. And then we're going to follow the green, because we're at green. We're just going to follow the green line. And again, we have this nice big hook there. And there's a big hook here. And there's another hook right here. So again, it's so nice that this door comes open for us. And then I am going to also thread the eye of the lower looper. So once you get everything threaded, you're ready to close everything up. And you're good to go. Now I always test the same with when I'm sewing, is once I get everything in my thread, I always run a test stitch. I'm going to do the same thing here, and we're going to go ahead and just run a little test stitch. So the lever is in the back here, just like on your sewing machine, but sergers are designed for efficiency. So you only need the foot up for threading to open up the tensions. Otherwise you can leave the foot down and everything is spring-loaded in the front, and it makes it very, very convenient. And then there is a cutter right along the side, and you just get these beautiful stitches right along the edge. Ooh. So what I adjusted over here is the presser foot pressure. There is an owner's manual, so when you look up a stitch and it says, okay, you're going to do the rolled hem, it's going to have a little bullet point, and it's just going to tell you to change this to that number, change your tensions to this number, change your stitch length to a different number, and then we've also got the differential feed in the back, which you can't see. But the differential feed is fantastic for creating effects in fabric, or if you're working with any kind of stretchy fabric like fleece or knits or anything like that. And differential feed is a necessity with a serger. And what it does is, on a sewing machine, we have one set of feed dogs, and there's teeth that pop up that show through the plate, but it's one basic set that works as a unit. The differential feed is two sets of feed dogs, and they work independently from each other. So you can have them work as a unit, or you can set one to work a little differently. And that is great for creating an effect, or specifically for knits. So if you have a knit and something that stretches, when you try sewing it on a sewing machine, you find that once it gets past the needle, it's wobbling a little bit. And that's what the differential feed is going to do, because I can set that front feed to work a little faster than the back feed, so that it'll scrunch it in as it's stitching. So by the time it comes to the other side, it is nice and even. And I'm going to go from one extreme to the next just to show you real quick. So I'm going to turn this way down so you can see. And now I'm going to turn it way up so you can see. So you can see here where it's trying to gather here. This is where it's stretching it out. So for this particular knit, normal, a little higher than normal would give me a beautiful finish, but it is a great feature to have on a serger, and in my opinion, a serger without differential feed is a doorstop. So differential feed is definitely a must. This is the Husqvarna Viking Amber S100.